Hey guys, Thomas Cecilio Jr. here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review the movie The Dead Don't Die. So, I saw the trailer for this movie a few times and I was like figuring, might as well see it once, and yeah, I saw it and this is my review. So, we follow two cop characters in the beginning, Cliff and Ron, who are investigating pretty basic stuff. And when a murder goes down, the immediate assumption from Ron's character is that what is responsible for this is zombies. So, it comes about this revelation comes about, I want to say, 25% through the movie. There's quite a little bit of pacing issues at the beginning, I really do think. And we finally get to this revelation, and it comes, and it keeps going through the end. I guess we'll skip ahead. Spoiler alerts too, I suppose, that this entire adventure that these two are going through, as well as everyone else in this movie, are fully aware that they are in a movie, but they are keeping to the script, and Ron even mentions in the movie that he has read the script of said movie, and that he knows that it already is going to end badly with that one odd twist to it that comes completely out of nowhere. And so this is a horror movie that I assumed was also supposed to be a comedy because of this whole meta humor thing going on, but when I looked it up on YouTube or on Google to get my little poster, it didn't say comedy, interestingly enough. And because of that, I really do feel like this kind of is a swerve of like, either something didn't promote it right or whatever. Nonetheless, one of the biggest issues I feel like is that all the characters, and I'll put that in quotes, feel like they don't really care about the situation that's going on. You're just like, oh yeah, it's zombies, whatever. We're probably gonna die anyway, or we are going to die anyway, and we're just gonna follow what it says to do. And yeah, there are characters that are even more pointless, like Selena Gomez is in this movie, and like she's there with like two other guys that like go to this motel, and they lock themselves in, apparently, but then later on in the movie they just get eaten anyway. So, yeah, there's that. And that's all that happens to them, and there's also these kids, I think they're like in juvenile prison, and their area gets attacked, and then they start running outside when the people inside start to get eaten. So they escape, and then we see them escape, and then we don't really know what happens after they escape. Like, did they make it? Did they not make it? I don't know, because it never shows us what happens to them. There's this other character where I'll say where that unexpected twist comes from. It's the same lady that does, that's in the Marvel movies, the Sorcerer Supreme. I believe in this movie her name is Zelda. And she eventually goes out into the field, there are all these zombies out there, and she's like this morgue person. And she made her way out there, and then the spaceship comes out of completely nowhere, and then, like, beams her up, and then it just goes away. And yeah, that's the entirety of her thing. And yeah, all the other characters, Danny Glover's also in this. His name is Hank, he's like this guy who's just at this place, or this older guy, I should say. there's this guy who's like constantly always outside. His name is like Bob, and he's just like sort of always just watching everyone suffer and stuff. Yeah, so there are too many characters, and none of them seem to really care what's going on. And they make the meta references. One of the actors, the one that plays, not Bill Murray, but the other character, I think his name is Adam something. Adam Driver, I think it is. The same guy from Star Wars, who plays Kylo Ren. So they make a Star Wars reference for him. And yeah, there are a few other people that just sort of die pretty quickly as well. And here's the thing about meta humor. I suppose this is an interesting little side note for meta humor. Is that, you know, the other movie that I immediately think of when I think of meta humor now, unfortunately, is Deadpool, which is a movie I did not enjoy. And I think a portion of that is Ryan Reynolds not being a good voice actor. And the other big portion of his partner, the CJ, or TJ Miller, or whatever his name is, also not being an interesting character at all. But I think one of the issues I have with current meta humor is that it is always so... Like in Deadpool, for example, it's kind of all over the place, and it doesn't really serve the story at all. It just sort of stops the movie from moving forward at all times. And it's also not funny, unfortunately for me. I just don't think that the comedy is that strong. Here is very much the comedy is very much all contained within this meta humor that they know that they are in this movie. But because the acting is so one note, it also just never comes across as funny. It just comes across as everyone's just bored, everyone's just doing it for a paycheck, everyone's just doing the bare minimum, and I'm not a fan of that. Definitely not a fan of that. And to do a comparison to a series that I think did much better meta humor than both of these combined, is a little animated show called tDie and Goo. One of my favorite meta humor shows in quite some time, even though it came out a while ago. And I think the reason why that worked is because of the characters. They really made that show work. The differences between the main character, protag, tDie, being this sort of straight man, and being opposed to a character like Goo that is so absurd, and I would easily say more absurd than Deadpool ever could be. And that allows, these two extremes is what allows for such great meta humor. And all the other characters also provide different elements within that. You have your typical anime tropes hidden within that as well. You have your super senpai kind of character, you have the super tired-like character, you have the cute characters that are just sort of there to be cute. You have your pervy character, your flirty character, your drunk character, and the list goes on and on. But point being, one of the reasons why I think this meta works is because when they make references, it kind of helps the story to move a little bit forward. Sometimes it really does. It's not always just to make a reference. It's to show that there's an absurdity to it, as well as moving the story forward. And yeah, sometimes that's not the case, but you know, that's the beauty of a series doing meta humor over a movie doing meta humor, is that you could dedicate time to doing both. And I think there is enough time with any movie to do that too, not just to be clear. And I think what this movie needed is a bit more absurdity difference, and they kind of went for that with this third cop character named Mina, but I don't think she was extreme enough. She kind of was just at this one sort of like, oh, I don't want to be in this situation sort of attitude. Like, it's pretty hard to explain how absurd, like, the level between absurdity is. Like, there's definitely a scale, but I don't think she ever fully reaches that, because, like, other times she's sort of just in the moment with the other two cops, just sort of, like, not caring, and I feel like they needed more characters to be absurd in different ways. You know, if you're gonna have the Star Wars character have that one Star Wars reference, you know, the absurdity should have been he should have been an absolute Star Wars fan. You know, you should have went 100% on that. You know, if you're gonna have an actor like, say, Selena Gomez, you should utilize, you know, the whole sort of pop star or whatever she is. I think she's a music singer, I think. You know, Danny Glover, you could have made a Predator reference. I think, yeah, isn't he in Predator 2, I want to say? Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, you could have, like, done something with that. You know, you have these actors, so many talented actors, and you're not utilizing what makes them unique. You know, Bill Murray, you know, he's kind of been like this for a while now, even ever since, like, before Ghostbusters, so whatever. He's gonna do that, and it definitely feels like for the last few movies that he's been in that it's just been the paycheck. You know what, and you know, whatever. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, I can't say that this movie is good. It's not. It's not good. It's a shame, because I do think that there is potential here. I think that the potential here could have been far more, you know, greater. You know, and you also have references to other zombie movies. There are so many other zombie movies you can pull from and just, you know, make the absurd, you know, make all the different absurdities. You know, you even have the series of The Walking Dead. You know, you have those typical TV tropes of, oh, we have to split up because of this, and, you know, or the dramatic speeches, and then the person who's making the dramatic speech happens to be the character that dies in that moment. You know, things like that. You know, there's so much potential here, and it's absolutely wasted. And I think that's the biggest criticism I can give this movie, is that all of the potential is just absolutely wasted for the bare minimum. And the bare minimum is just not fun, it's not interesting, it's not well written, it's not well acted. It's just, everyone is in this movie and it feels like they're in it for the paycheck, and I feel like, damn, you really just wanted that paycheck, like, you didn't give a fuck. So I'm gonna give this movie a 1 out of 10. It's not worth, you know, that was not worth it, for me at least, but, I don't know, maybe somebody might get a chuckle out of it, maybe? I don't know. God damn it. I feel like I wasted some time on this one. And that's my review of The Dead Don't Die. God damn it. I'm really pissed. God damn it. Anyways, If you enjoyed this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head you over to my Discord server, the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are greatly appreciated. Until next time, everyone, bye-bye.